Hello and salute everybody. Question of the day is, how do we go from made in China to made in Africa? How do we get our things made in Africa in the best quality instead of the crappy made in China that we have in Africa? I know it's a long question, but I'm going to explain myself. Before I do, welcome back to the channel, Chatting with Nicole. We're just chatting here. If you have not subscribed, do me a favor, subscribe right now, share this video, like, and also check out the rest of the videos. Thank you very much for being here. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. I hope you are grateful to be listening to me right now, to be alive, to be breathing today, to get another day to live, because I am grateful. I am grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to have another day, another chance of life. I am grateful to be talking to you today. So I thank you very much for your support. So today, I'm going to do, this is a follow-up video on two topics that I posted 2 weeks ago, last week actually. The first topic was, why are we sending containers? Why is it better to send money back home to Africa versus sending containers? And I explained that. And if you haven't checked that video, I encourage you to check that video out. And the second, follow-up will be, the topic was, are African wives worth it? So today I received some feedback and I did some research as well. So it is going to be a follow-up on those two topics that I posted. And please, I encourage you to please check out those videos so that you know exactly where we are, and subscribe so that you're not missing anything. All right. So thank you for being here. So the first thing I'm going to address is about my recommendation. What I was saying, that we need to, instead of sending everything back home to Africa in containers to build our homes, everything we need, we are getting it from here. Instead of doing that, we should be getting some stuff back home as well. We should be balancing it out instead of just, so that we can help the economy back home by purchasing certain stuff back home. And I received few feedbacks, and I really appreciate it. I received feedbacks, and those feedbacks are really, really valid feedback. They opened my eyes. They helped me do more research and ask more questions. So I want to shine a light on certain things that, I have learned. And again, this is not going to be, like I said in my last video, it's not going to be one and done. Right? We're going to continue as we're doing research, as we're learning from each other, as we're having these conversations, as we're going through it every day. We're peeling layer by layers every day. We are going to keep having these conversations. The key is continue having these conversations and continue finding ways to help, to get better, to get to where we need to be. So I want you to continue sharing your thoughts. Call me, whatever it is, let us discuss it so that we can get somewhere. Because the reason why we are not getting anywhere is because we criticize, we talk about it, but we don't get anywhere. We don't do anything about it. But it is time now for us to do something about it. So I encourage the communication, the feedback, and whatever else you have out there. We need to act on our, we need to act and do something. All right. So the feedback that I got, the main reason why people sent money, people sent containers instead of buying things, instead of buying things back home in Africa. First, some of the feedback was they don't trust their families. They sent money home for them to purchase stuff, and then nothing gets done. They don't trust the family with money. So you have to send everything back because you don't trust people there to do what you ask them to do, to purchase the stuff that you ask them to purchase. And that, I'm going to say, my response to that is, if that's the case, you really just don't have certain people that you can trust. And I know it's sad, it's terrible. So it's terrible when we can trust our families to do simple things for us when it comes to money. It's just bad. So my recommendation was, maybe you can go there, I know it's difficult to take a time off because you still have responsible for all the bills and everything you have to take care of. But maybe, I have people who went on vacation, this year, they went on vacation 9 weeks, 6 weeks, 4 weeks. So maybe you have to take some time and go there and see things through. If that is what you can do, if you're able to, you probably need to do that. But the main reason I am hearing is the quality of items back home. Quality is the reason why people rather send stuff, containers, everything they need back to Africa versus buying stuff in Africa. So a quality. So what I found out is, so I've spoken to people who build their house back there with everything in Africa. In Togo, I'm going to talk about Togo because that's what I know. That's where I'm from. That's where I have people. And I asked them, the difference, when they buy stuff, the quality of stuff, the quality of the stuff that they bought. And I also did that with my brother. My brother, his life, saving, he used to build this huge house, with everything in it. And I talked to him about quality, and I talked to others about quality. And what I found out is this feedback that I got from my friend, the first feedback that I got, he told me that it was quality and it was made in China issues. And we need to dig deeper to this situation than just sending money back home. And I agree with him. And this proved his point about the quality. So the feedback that I'm getting from the stuff that they purchased to build a house is quality. It's quality problem. So they telling me that the windows, the doors, even the sink, the toilet, they are rusting. They build a house, few years later, it's rusting. Everything is rusting, the quality, even the doors, you can't even close the doors anymore. I understand why you wouldn't do your, we know how we are struggling here, and save your money and end up buying crappy stuff and buy your home. And then a few years later, you have to replace everything in it. The key is, if I say something and you correct me, you tell me that there's another reason. That's why I ask you for your feedback. So I'm letting you know that I heard you. I hear you. And we need to continue hearing each other and talking to each other. So the quality issue, I can see that, it's terrible. And the problem is, it's not even the problem. The kicker in all of this is the stuff that we are sending back home, most of them are made in China. Even if you are in Europe, the stuff you're sending back home, most of them are made in China. But the thing is, the quality, the made in China quality for America and Europe is different than made in China quality in Africa, because it's Africa. They're sending us the crappy made in China stuff. Because imagine you bought the same stuff made in China here, and it's, the best quality, if you can call it that, best quality. You go back home, the same stuff that made in China, they're sending it back to Africa. You buy it there, that's the worst quality. So China knows that they can send crappy stuff to Africa, but they can't do it to America. They can't do it to Europe. Are you hearing me? Because you buying the same stuff made in China, and they're making it best quality because it's, what, American can afford, European can afford. But when it comes to, Africa, we can't afford that. We are not that important in Africa. We get the crappy stuff. The worst materials that they use to make, they're sending it to us. Because it's always Africans gets the worst stuff. So I am saying that I see that. And I did my research and I talked to people, the experiences, and this is my conclusion. My conclusion is, even though we're getting the stuff here, they are made in China, it's not that we are getting the same stuff in Africa. It's not the same quality. China is sending us the crappiest stuff because we are Africans. It is Africa. You know what I mean? So the solution here is the recommendation. A friend of mine who, the first person I was talking to, he was telling me about diaspora. Diaspora now may be able to help with that. And they are encouraging, people to bring more businesses and get people to work and improve the country. So that's currently happening. I see videos, people are going back home and starting business and doing all of that. So my challenge to diaspora right now, if you're listening to me, if you're from the diaspora, if you're part of it, it's never too late, I'm going to say that. But if you're listening to me and you know people in diaspora, you know people, you are part of diaspora, and you are listening to me, or contact, my recommendation is we need to start thinking about, made in Africa. We need to start getting education. We need to start getting, especially that goes back to my point about in introducing Africa to our children. Africa to be part of our children's education, their future, their goals. Africa, because they are learning. They are getting all the education. They are getting the good stuff. They are going to be our future. Remember what I said about our children. So we need to continue doing that, building our children, helping our children so that they have interest in Africa, because they are going to take all of that to us, for us in Africa, and start with our new generation. But we have to get up. We have to get with the diaspora. They need to start thinking about education and training so that we can start made in Africa. We can start making quality equipment and supplies, everything that we are getting, the crappy stuff that we are getting that we need, stuff that we are getting from here that we need back home. We need to see what they are, and we need to start thinking, investing. I care if it's made in Africa. If it's made in Africa, it's for all the Africans. So we need to come together. The countries, we need to come together, starting from diaspora. We need to come together and have meetings, so that we see how we can think about made in Africa versus from China. And we have to do that. But in the meanwhile, while we're doing that, because it's not going to be overnight project, while we are doing that, my second suggestion is we need to have a conversation with these Chinese who are sending us the stuff. We need to have a conversation with them. They can't keep selling us crappy stuff. You know what I mean? So we need to have that conversation. So that's my message to diaspora. If you guys are listening to me, if you know somebody, share this video with them. That's my recommendation. We need to invest in made in Africa, and we need to start with training, with education. Things that we are learning from here. Our children, our new generation, us ourselves. We need to work together. We need to put our heads together and start thinking the big picture. We want made in Africa versus made in China, because they're not helping us, and they will not help us if we continue getting their crappy, quality stuff back home. This is my update from the feedback that I got and from the research that I did. But again, this is not going to end here. We are going to continue having this conversation. If you know somebody from the diaspora, whoever we need to talk to, reach out to me, let me know. And if you have any other feedback, anything else you want us to touch on, anything else you think it's important, we need to share, we need to discuss, let me know. But until then, stay safe and blessed. And I'll see you next time you see me. But keep the conversation going, right? We cannot stop. We cannot give up. We have to continue. And we have to keep pouring this in our new generation.